Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. This week for my Arrow bonus video, I wanted to talk all about Malcolm Merlyn. John Barrowman has been talking about the character, and Andrew Kreisberg talks about him in a new Season 3 featurette. I'll also be counting down my top 5 Malcolm Merlyn moments from Seasons 1 and 2. And big reminder, Flash is coming Tuesday, October 7th, Arrow is coming Wednesday, October 8th. I'll be doing videos for all the episodes, so be sure to subscribe everything. It's going to be a really fun season, especially with Gotham and Constantine happening too. So if you haven't seen it, Andrew Kreisberg, who's an executive producer on Arrow and The Flash, did this featurette where he talks about the themes of Season 3. You have to pre-order Season 3 on iTunes to get the clip. I can't upload it to YouTube. I saw someone try it and they totally got the band hammer. He explains what the character development is and what the bigger themes of Season 3 are. From Oliver's perspective, Season 2 was, am I a killer? In Season 3, it's all going to be about identity. Who am I? That's going to trickle down to all the other characters, including Malcolm Merlyn. Merlyn and Thea find themselves in this really interesting situation where one has lost a child, Tommy, and one has lost her mother, Moira. You have these two people trying to figure out how to form a new family unit, with Merlyn's past and the League of Assassins casting this giant shadow over everything they do. That is where the fun starts. Oliver and Merlyn have both bottled up a lot of their demons. Oliver bottled up Slade, stuck him down in the island, and is also, bottling up a lot of emotions. And Merlyn has bottled up his past with the League of Assassins. Kreisberg teased that there's always an opportunity for those demons to get out of their bottles. I like the suggestion that Ra's al Ghul, head of the demon, is also Merlyn's demon. Although he's kind of going to be a demon for everyone, he is the big bad of the season. And just to reference Slade, I know a lot of you are wondering if he's going to come back. Kreisberg did say bottled demons maybe getting out. That could mean Slade is getting out. They haven't shot all the episodes this season. They've only shot about half the season, and they haven't even written some of the final episodes. So there's still the opportunity. I'm not expecting him back though. I think he was also winking to Komodo in that interview, who's actually going to be in episode 2. We'll meet him in episode 2. In the comics, Komodo is something of a bottled demon from Oliver and his father's past. It's unclear whether or not it's going to be an exact translation from the comics, but Komodo's going to be a fun, lesser villain. What I'm really looking forward to, though, is the thing or the moment that brings Team Merlyn and Team Arrow together. I'm obviously expecting that to be the League of Assassins and Ra's al Ghul, but it could totally be something else. John Barrowman's basically been doing the rounds, doing his Arrow interview rounds. He said that Malcolm Merlyn is ultimately a person looking for redemption, even though he's probably not going to find it this season. He'll be using a few different tactics this season to find a measure of redemption, especially through Thea. Barrowman explained that Season 1 was more about using power and just epic villainy to get what he wanted. This season is more about a personal approach, playing on emotions. Ultimately though, it's all part of his path to Merlyn's redemption. John Barrowman in real life explained that he doesn't think that Merlyn's ever going to find any redemption. It'll be like the end of his life. It's going to take his entire life to find it, so we might not see it happen on the series. What we can look forward to though is some really awkward Merlyn family moments with Thea. If he's trying to play on her emotions, then he's kind of trying to coddle up to her a little bit and train her at the same time, as we've seen in the trailers. It'll be a really fun balancing act, but I'm looking forward to the thing that throws him back into the action in Starling City. Because obviously he probably doesn't care about Oliver now. He's got Thea. He's got what he wants. Still, something is going to have to throw him into Oliver's path. But as of the beginning of Season 3, it's unclear whether or not they're going to be in Starling, or if they're going to show up in that first episode. Hopefully they will. It seems like during the break, they've been away training somewhere else, just based on the scenes in the trailer. Generally, we can just expect to see a lot more Merlyn in his domain, so I'm really looking forward to Team Merlyn scenes. But here are my top 5 Malcolm Merlyn moments from Seasons 1 and 2. Starting with number 5, Merlyn tells Oliver the Hood should change his name to Green Arrow. This was episode 9 from Season 1, Year's End. It was basically like the mid-season finale. Merlyn had just killed Adam Hunt, so the Dark Archer was rearing his head, and Oliver was still trying to deflect attention from the vigilante. It was before people were calling him the Arrow. Merlyn already suspected Oliver was the vigilante, so they're all sitting at the dinner table having this very Hannibal-type meal. For anyone that doesn't watch Hannibal, that's just a show where they do crazy dinner scenes between the villain and the hero. Later in the episode, Merlyn totally kicked Oliver's ass. It was like one of their first big fights. The whole thing about the Green Arrow, though, was just a big wink at the comics. I love that they gave the line to the big villain of the year. How great is it that the villain can presumably see into your future in a way that you cannot? It's just that at the time, Oliver had no idea what Team Arrow was going to turn into, and obviously he's just now learning about the Justice League stuff that's going on. He's just starting to team up with other big superheroes. Number 4, Merlyn throws down in a tuxedo in front of Tommy. This was from Season 1, Episode 16, Dead to Rights. It was fun to just see Merlyn get his James Bond moment in the tuxedo, even crazier because Deadshot was in there too. So there was like a whole lot of stuff going on at once. It was also the episode where Oliver revealed himself to Tommy for the first time. Number 3, Merlyn reveals himself as the Dark Archer for the first time. This was also from that same episode, the mid-season finale in Season 1. Not a big surprise for comic book readers, but the way they filmed it with John Barrowman just throwing the hood back and showing his face was so epic. During Season 1, I loved the Dark Archer scenes. I wasn't as big of a fan of the Malcolm Merlyn scenes where he was trying to, wear this facade of a businessman. Number 2, Malcolm Merlyn returns in Season 2. This was from Episode 7, The State vs. Moira Queen. Merlyn had fixed the trial to get Moira off the hook, and he was just beginning to set that Thea plot into motion. I feel like when he came back for the first time, he was still very much a Season 1 Merlyn. By the time he came back in the Season 2 finale, like when he came back for Thea, he was much closer to the Merlyn we'll see in Season 3. Like he was toning down the crazy just a little bit, but he's still going to be super dark. And my number 1 Merlyn moment, the Season 1 finale fight. Oliver and Merlyn's final battle was one of the best action scenes that year. And the fight totally isn't over. Remember, they didn't cross paths in Season 2. I'm expecting them to pick things back up wherever they left off whenever they meet in Season 3. I mean, at least at first. There's no way that they're not going to throw down just a little bit, but obviously I'm hoping that they team up against Ra's al Ghul. I was actually hoping to get that moment in the Season 2 finale, but they might have just been holding something like that for Season 3. I just feel like making them, fight kind of pick back up where Season 1 left off, and then have to grit their teeth and fight like a big villain would be so much more fun. Let me know though, what is your favorite Malcolm Merlyn moment of all time, and do you think that he's going to team up with Oliver against Ra's al Ghul this season? Also, I'm working on a Flash video for tonight, so I'll post that later, but there's some special Star Wars stuff happening tomorrow, and I have a few special announcements about stuff that's coming. So it's not happening yet, but I'm going to be doing a charity drive in October for Charity Water. I'll make a special video explaining everything real soon, but until then I'm just going to be dropping notes so that you guys are loosely aware whenever it's coming up. I've been wanting to do a charity drive for a while now, so it'll just be a good opportunity for us to turn all this TV watching into some actual social good. So right now, you can click here to get that Flash video. I'll add the annotation whenever I post it tonight. And you can click here to learn about the Arrow Flash crossover this season. Thank you so much for watching. So let's all high five, and we'll meet back up for the Flash later.